All right, today what I want to do is I want to go over some statistics. I'm going to see if I can find some statistics about how many black people are actually murdered per year in the United States. Now, if you don't know, Takeoff from the Migos was unfortunately murdered. Rest in peace to him. May God bless his soul. But the person who was alleged to have killed him is Lil Cam. And just like King Von, his killer, Little Tim, he was able to monetize and brand himself as King Von's killer. And he created music with innuendos. He didn't say it directly, but you and me know he's referring to killing King Von in that lyric. Okay, so he's monetizing and branding himself as the killer of a famous rapper. And we're starting to see that with Little Cam. Vloggers are making videos about him. They're putting the clues together. There was a vehicle that was associated with the crime scene. The vehicle, that same vehicle, is in a picture with the guy Little Cam, and basically Little Cam is becoming like Little Tim. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does start making music videos talking about the murder of Takeoff. Now, I'm black. My mom's black. My dad's black. And I've lost a cousin to homicide. In 2008, my cousin was killed. In 2005, my brother was almost killed, shot 5 times. And people are killing our family members, and you're not doing anything about it because you want to fit in with the criminals. Even though you're not a criminal, even though you pay taxes, and your taxes are used for the police force so that they can protect you and your family, even though you work for a living, even though you get up every day and work hard to get your money legally, you still want to fit in with the criminals. And that's a disease that we have as a people. Even at work, you see it. The criminals, or wannabe criminals, because if you're a criminal, you shouldn't even be working anyway. Those are fake criminals. You see people do bad things, you see people stealing, and you look the other way because you want to fit in. And I don't trust you because that kind of mentality makes me think that you will enable a pedophile to rape your own child, and you're going to look the other way, or rape my child, or rape her child. You see? It takes a village to raise a child. In our community, we all must pay attention. Because if I'm not paying attention, maybe you're paying attention, and you can put me on, and you can help me and say, hey, you didn't see it, but I seen it. This man was trying to get your child. But you're not going to say anything because you want to fit in with that pedophile. You want that pedophile to accept you. You want those criminals to accept you. So I don't trust you around children because I know if you see evidence of pedophilia, you're going to pretend you didn't see it because you don't want to be a snitch. And I don't respect you because of that. Now, black people make up 12% of the population. 350 million Americans. Let's say black people are 44 million. A third of that is adults, a third of that are children, and a third of that is senior citizens. So we only have about 12 million adults in the black community. The others are children, toddlers, babies, kids, and the other third are senior citizens. So we've got about 12 million adults. Okay, and it's our responsibility to take care of our community for the children and the senior citizens. But if our adults are so busy and so concerned about what the criminals think about them, then we'll never get anywhere. During the civil rights movement, people weren't concerned about what criminals thought. People were concerned about what their children thought about them. People were concerned about the fact that, hey, I want my child to grow up so that he doesn't have to go to a black water fountain or a black hospital. He can go to any hospital. I want my child to grow up so that he can actually be who he wants to be without legal documented racism, legal segregation that's on the books, that's really, really legal. I don't want that to stop him. So in the 60s and 50s, that's who we were thinking about. We wanted our children to love us. We wanted to fit in with our children, with our people, with our neighbors. We wanted to fit in with American society. But now I feel like we all want to fit in with criminals. Just like black people really have this thing where they want to be. And I heard a theory about that. There's a theory that says that's a slavery mentality because back during the slavery days on the plantation, if you saw a slave breaking the rules, you didn't want to be a snitch. You didn't want to snitch on him to the master because he might get hung or beat. You know, so they say that mentality comes from slavery. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is I'm looking up how many black people are killed in America every day. Impact of gun violence on black Americans. Let's check it. Black Americans are disproportionately impacted by gun violence. They experience 10 times the gun violence, the gun homicides, 18 times the gun assault injuries, and nearly 3 times the fatal police shootings. I don't want to talk about police shootings. Gun homicides, assaults, and police. All right, this must be a liberal source. Every day on average, 30 black Americans are killed by guns, and more than 110 experience non-fatal injuries. At least every other day, a black person is shot and killed by the police. Those trends worsen in larger cities, where black Americans make up 68% of the homicide victims. Gun violence further clusters in specific social networks and neighborhood subsections. For decades, residents have come together to ensure. All right, so every day, 30 black Americans are killed, and 110 are shot. Now, I already told you, 12% of the population, 44 million total citizens, a third adults, a third senior citizens, a third children. So children are getting shot. In Chicago, 300 children were shot so far this year, but I'm talking about adults. So on average, we've got 12 million black adults in America, and 30 of them are being killed every day, and 110 are being shot every day. So 30 per day is 350 days in a year. So let's do 30 times 350 and see what we get. So 10,500 out of 12 million. Okay? So 10,500 black people are killed every single year. So let's times that by 10 years. So every 10 years, 105,000 black people are killed. Okay? So basically, when we have babies, we're basically replenishing the homicide victims. When a new black baby is born, we're replenishing that number. So our population is going to remain at a certain point because we're not growing. 105,000 of us are dying every 10 years. So every 10 years, we lose a city worth of people. Because a city is about 105,000 strong. So every 10 years, a whole city is destroyed. And we have to repopulate it through babies. So think about that. Peace.